entertainmentbuddha.com.
Hey now, Fear the Walking Deaders, Matt Heywood here from entertainmentbuddha.com to bring you another lackluster stick figure recap of the latest episode of Fear the Walking Dead, which is titled Cobalt. You ready? Let's do this. The episode opens inside the holding zone for the Army's pen of rounded up citizens, which at this time don't appear to be sick at all. We see Doug being berated by a sharp-dressed black man who seems to know what the world is jacked on, and he has ideas for how families will suffer, which he uses to make Dougie Wuggy cry like a big fat baby. But we do learn that Nick is in the same cell and that his cellmate is interested in him, but not in a traditional cellmate kind of way, if you catch my drift. The action shifts back to the lockdown neighborhood where Ophelia is outside trying to start a protest against the occupying forces who took her mother away. So her wannabe boyfriend talks her down to avoid an unwanted mess. There's obviously some tension between the armed forces as well, who aren't fans of rounding up and terrorizing their own citizens. Meanwhile, young Chris is yelling at Travis about his mom leaving them like a punk, while also taking potshots at Madison and Travis's new, ready-made family. Madison heads to another home where she finds Daniel and Ophelia, who have captured the army dude that Ophelia has been working her vagina magic on. At first, she appears concerned, but ultimately sees the need for a bit of tough questioning to learn where her crackhead son Nick is being held. Travis continues to be the mouthpiece for the group and tries to use his goodwill with the lieutenant to see if he could get more information from him on Griselda and Nick's location. The lieutenant agrees, but then forces Travis to shoot the donut shop lady with a 50 cal now that she's a walker. Of course, Travis pusses out and watches the lieutenant blow her brains out into a goo of red mist. It's then revealed that Daniel is using his old war skills to torture the army soldier for information about the occupying force. Daniel appears to be a fan of the Boltons, that is, the Game of Thrones Boltons, as he has been flaying the soldier's arm like a Ramsay fanboy. Back at the sick people prison, the well-dressed black guy makes a deal with the guards to keep Nick from being taken away for a high fever. He seems to have plans for him that aren't very clear quite yet. He's a very interesting character, if not overly mysterious. Liza, on the other hand, is now practicing nurse at the facility, and she gets to see Griselda locked up like a caged animal after having her foot cut off. It doesn't appear that she will survive at this point in time, and Liza is concerned. Back in the neighborhood, Chris and Alicia are having a lit smash rich people shit party, as Alicia tries on dresses and Chris stands creepily by, hoping for a boob shot. There's definitely some odd sexual tension going on between these two, or at least I creepily thought so. Travis returns home to find out that Daniel has been torturing a soldier, but before he could say something lame, Madison and the gang tell him that they have found out what the Cobalt code word means. Essentially, the army is going to pull out soon and then bomb the living shit out of the place to try and stop the spread of what they are calling the infection at this point. Back at the prison, the well-dressed black guy, because I still can't figure out his name, relays his plan to Nick. He essentially says, "I need a heroin addict to help me escape." I'm still not sure how that's going to function, but that's why he saved him a few scenes earlier. Griselda ultimately succumbs to her wounds and dies, so Liza blasts a cattle prod into her head, No Country for Old Man style, to show us the first documented mercy kill to prevent walker reanimation. Finally, Daniel heads to the arena where the tortured soldier told him they locked up a shitload of people, and sure enough, he finds the doors bulging with moans and groans and realizes that the soldier wasn't lying and that they're all going to be fucked by Cobalt. The end. This episode continued to show how individuals deal with their situations differently when an apocalyptic event is taking place. People like Travis try to hold on to the past and put faith into the law, even though the law, in this case the army, isn't telling citizens the full story. Meanwhile, people like Madison and Daniel are seemingly willing to go the extra mile to ensure the safety of their loved ones. Daniel in particular seems more than prepared to deal with the impending doom thanks to his previous war experience, so I definitely want this flaying motherfucker on my side in the zombie apocalypse. I found the Chris and Alicia scene to be a good look at how teens may have dealt with the beginning of the zombie apocalypse. Like most teens, they don't fully grasp the gravity of the situation they are facing, and want to rebel against the system as if the world isn't going to hell in a handbag. Instead of trying to get one last solid hookup in because you know they were thinking about it, they're too concerned with vandalizing rich people's things and pretending they're not boned. Finally, the whole mystery behind the Army's Cobalt command was revealed, which not surprisingly is a plan to kill innocents for the benefit of the greater good. This tactic is at the root of most of the armed forces' decisions when it comes to war, but it's scary to think, at least in TV land, that the government wouldn't think twice about bombing a town to prevent a pandemic without trying to save as many uninfected people as possible. I found the whole arena story to be curious, especially because knowing what we know now, the Army essentially helped to spread the walker problem by locking thousands of people inside and letting them eat each other's faces off. This essentially spawned a whole walker army that we know will make its presence felt in the remaining episode of Fear the Walking Dead. It's pretty clear that by the end of the episode that the government has no idea how to stop the infection, so instead of going about it peacefully, they're going to use the big guns to combat a problem they don't fully understand, which is a bit similar to how governments operate in real life when the unknown comes into play. All I know is that I can't wait to see the arena doors flood open next week, as it could be the largest walker stampede to ever be featured in a Walking Dead TV show. Thanks for watching. This is Matt Heywood signing off for EntertainmentBuddha.com, which always aims to make you a better geek, one post at a time.